Hi guys, I'm Shanae, this is Gabby. We're going to be teaching you badminton today. Our purpose is to get you more confident and comfortable with serving in badminton and holding the racket. We're going to start off with
do a wee warm up. So if we just line up along this line here,
this yellow line right
spread
there.
out from the end to the other end, please.
Do we just put these
I'll
down?
put the rackets down for a minute, so just put it behind you.
No, you gotta get one with the racket. Just 1 minute.
Get one with the racket.
Roughly that.
Everybody ready?
Alright, so jogging through to the end and back, switch out for balls and hoops. I see you put the racket down, but that's alright. And jog back. And when you jog back next time, do arm circles forward. And when you jog back, arm circles backwards. And when you jog back, I want you to do lunges, walking lunges. When you jog. Huh? Oh, when you jog back. When you jog back, I'll do a lunge. There.
Good work,
Can we
guys.
kick people off?
It's okay. Keep going. Go on, Katie.
Well done. And lunge halfway back and then just jog it to me.
Be careful of the hooks, guys.
No, I meant lunge. And once you're back here, I want you to butt flip to the end and butt flip back.
Get in your bum trap.
Hit your bum. Hit your bum.
That's it, guys. Keep going.
And when you come back to me, I want some side steps facing my left and then the other way around. Well done, Charlotte. Well done.
That's it. Good work, guys.
And for those who are back, we're just going to do some knee halves. So hug it, twist up halfway, jog it to the end, jog it
Nice
back.
work, guys. Knee hugs. Nice work, guys.
And just some jump side squats. So side squats up around halfway and jog back. Yeah, please do the low suit. Very odd.
Good work, guys.
Cool. And just jog it back and grab your racket and gather around. Gather around. Sinead is going to teach you, so there's two different types of serves. Well, there's three, but for beginners, there is a low serve and then there is a more advanced one, which is a flick serve. So Sinead's going to teach you the beginner one, the low serve.
I will show you first how to properly hold a racket. So basically it's just like you're going out to shake someone's hand. So arm out, grab your racket on the side and hold. Nice and easy? Everyone's got that?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so for your low serve, you're going to put your foot out and again, aiming to where you want to hit. Like how I'm going to hit towards me. And for a low serve, now hold the shuttlecock by, sorry, this part here, little feathers. And you're just going to go back, not too far, otherwise you're not going to hit it. And then we'll drop, just like that. Follow through. Yep. Does everyone understand that? Any questions about that low serve?
Yes. Oh, no, you don't. You don't have questions. Right, can you get to partners, please?
And we're just going to try the low serve.
I don't know if it's interesting.
I'll get the top. Maybe you see.
Yep.
There you go.
They do.
I'll be along. Okay, okay.
Go 5 goes each person.
Come on. Just serve serving, so once it lands, just pick it up, don't hit it. Unless you're really talented, you can hit it once it's hit.
So which one that you're on the, or your left foot really? So if you're right-handed, your right foot. Nice work, Nathan. That's good. Sorry. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. Nice. That was really good. So just, yeah, hold it. Beautiful.
Alright.
See you, Lucy. Nice. Very good follow through. Nice. That's perfect. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop here and do it.
I'm going to break it. Jogging in, ladies.
And Gabby's going to show you the flip serve.
Okay, just a personal preference. You might like the low serve more, or you might like the flick. I personally like the flick because I feel like it's a bit more accurate. So same sort of stance. So you want to point your foot in the direction that you're wanting it to go in. So say I want it to go to X, point it in that direction, anchoring your foot at the back, hold it by the feathers or plastic. And this time it's not forehand, it's backhand. So you're going to want to hold it, and then it's quite quick. So you drop it and then flip with the wrist. So it takes a wee while to get used to it. I'll show you one more time. So your feet don't really move. Kind of keep the knees nice and soft. Hold and flip, follow through. Understand? Any questions? Yep, cool. So back to your partners and just flicking. Look at the wrist. Look at it. Oh my God. Look at it. Oh God, I can't do that. Wonderful. Yep, so you want to like your body over there. Should have mentioned that. The front and side sort of thing. Yeah. So point and then, yeah, that looks good.
Nice, mate.
Start, so you want to, yeah, it goes quickly along. Yeah, quickly along. Yeah.
The angle of your foot when you want to aim it.
Nice, that was really good. Yeah. Keeping your elbow up. Is there one that you prefer? Just out of curiosity, what one do you feel is just better? I like the flip. You like the flip? What do you like
Or
here?
like, I feel like this one. Get over the neck.
Oh, okay.
This one will probably like
Do you call like it would hit the neck?
yeah, it'll
Yeah.
And these both serves.
These are these two units as well. These are
When you guys ready, come on in.
got that. Nice, so that's going to get the break.
So, hands up for people that found the low serve was their favourite, or they found more comfortable with low serve. Yeah? And what about you guys? The rest of you is pretty much the flip serve?
Yep.
Yeah? Both? Yeah?
Rightio. Going to have a wee partner competition first, and then we'll do a group one. So if you stay in your partners, I think that'll be enough. 2, 4.
Maybe one group sharing.
Yeah. Wait, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, that's fine. So if you get, so there's, I forgot to say, does everyone know the badminton court?
Yeah.
So you know it's the white ones here? Okay, cool. So there is an invisible net line here. So this is the baseline of the court, of the one side, and this will be the invisible net line. So with your partner, you're going to want to try and get it in one of those circles. partner up. Yeah. And then one dribble. Alright, there you go, come this way. Alright, so when you get 5 minutes, then you're going to try and see how many shuttlecocks you can get into like any hoop in there. Right? Yep, you're going to start through. So you can't go past this line. So this doesn't count. That's too close. Try and get it to one of those.
A couple of hits and then you up. Okay.
So you guys can decide what you want to swim. That's up to you. You've got 5 minutes left to get it. I'll take you halfway from there. 5 minutes up now. You decide when you stop. So you might want to do it. So make sure you count your blocks around. And see who gets the most.
Try and make the red or the yellow.
So partners, move on. If we look at other partners, see if your feet are right, body position's correct, bracket's correct. See if you can adjust anything. If not, put his chairs on. A little bit more juice, Nate. Yeah, all we need is a Yes, see? Maybe
serving this time, you're going to be serving to the opposite side.
So the one on the diagonal.
So, for example, if you guys are in this square here, you're going to be aiming for the opposite side of that court for a serve.
Does that make sense?
And a serve, if you hit it from this side straight ahead, that will be their point.
Oh. So this is a real game of badminton. So in the game of badminton, when you serve, it has to go into the diagonal box. Otherwise, it's not your point. So that's why we're going to get you get you to serve to the other side.
Yep. And then yellow will be 1 point, red will be 2 points, and green purple will be 3 points. And it's all for serving, so it's not just hitting back from your partner, it's doing an actual flick serve or soft serve. And it's who can get up to 10 points the fastest.
So it's got a bit of speed this time. So it's a competition against your partner. So you're counting your own points. See how many you can get. Tell us when you get 10 points. Make sense? Actually, no. Scratch the 10 points. Just see how many points you can get. Make sense? Yes. Cool.
And we'll give you 3 minutes to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll change over a minute 30. So stick with one partner for the first half and the second half for the other partner to finish. Oh, good one. Sorry. 5, 4, 3. We're going to have to put the one who's coming.
Yeah. Can you guys just go over to that side and Chanel get hoops for you?
Have we got one person missing as well?
Yeah, we have person over here.
That's right. No, don't worry. I'll go ahead and...
I've got a couple.
All right. So we're feeling a bit more comfortable with serving?
Just when you answer me.
All right. So we're going to basically have kind of a game of badminton, but we're going to focus more on the different strokes. So, like we did before, we did the low serve. That is a forehand stroke. So the same as serving, you can actually use that when you are playing a game of badminton. So forehand is when your fingers are facing the person, and backhand is when your backhand is facing the person. So we're going to show you how to do, the only way I can really teach you is going through the motions. So we're going to get back into your partners, you're going to go one side of the court, so two partners, does that make sense? So like Bex and Charlotte, me and Katie will be on one court, you'll be just be singles, playing singles, and then you'll just be doing forehand. So that is when your fingers are facing and you're only doing forehand to each other, right, back and forth. Yes?
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
So it's a rally, so you can't let it hit the floor. So you're going to go back and forth. So 1 point if I hit it to surge, so there'll be 1 point, you hit it back, 2, 3, drop it, it's only 3 points. So you want to see how many you can get without dropping it. If you drop it, you're back to 0.
Are you working with your partner against you guys, or like?
You're working together.
So I'll be playing at Charlotte.
Yeah, you're basically just on one court
Okay.
together,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're wanting to see how many you can get.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to get rid of the hoops. Yeah. Cool, all right. Any partners in a group? Don't move the camera. all right. It's good.
I'd estimate about 26.
Cool. I'll stop laughing.
Okay, so we're going to do the same again, but this time I'm going to do backhand.
What's backhand?
Hands back. Bring your hands back. I see the back here.
Yeah.
And one thing we forgot to mention at the start, but you guys cannot serve into this middle square here. So you've got to currently over it when you're serving, and you cannot land on the other side in the serve. But every other time it's fine. Everyone got that?
So you serve to the opposite, like we were saying before.
What did you guys find that worked and what didn't work during that session? That forehand rally?
Sometimes you just had to hit it backhand. Like, for example,
Oh, yeah.
To communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah? Communication?
there's no net, so you can just do short pulls.
Yeah. So with the communication, that's important because there are some situations you don't communicate and you're just like, oh yeah, Shana's going to get it, no one gets it, and then it falls and you've lost a point when you could have just, Shane could have called it or I could have gone yours or something. So mine and yours is really good to put into a game just so you know who's going for it. It's really quick. You're not having a discussion like, it's too quick. So just make sure communication is flowing as well. I think that's all. Carry on. Same sort of thing. Count your
Rallies? Yeah. Remember guys, this is all backhand. If you hit it, get it through forehand.
You might have to move. If it's not your head, move.
That's good? Alright. Off you guys go. Here we go.
Settle down.
How'd you guys find that? Fantastic.
It's harder though.
What did you realise since I told you you could only do forehand and backhand? What did you find was difficult when I said you can only do one or the other?
It's just positioning your body.
Yeah.
In the right spot.
So when it's up high, what do you naturally, forehand? And when it's low, what do you naturally do? Backhand. It can be backhand and forehand. It depends on the person. So naturally I would go backhand, but some other people they might tilt under. Sorry, right.
I'll let you explain the next activity.
Okay, so now we're just going to do our normal game. No net low, just keep it like this. And one tip I will give you guys is when you're communicating with your partner, one of you guys should be back further in the court, and then the other one come forward to grab little hits. Yeah?
Cool. Alright. So we're going to teach you also some rules of badminton. So when you're playing singles, so that would be, are you two just on singles still? Okay. So when Nathan and Kat play, it's, so singles is long and skinny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And this one.
So that's when you're serving. So if that person serves out here, it's going to count. But when you start playing, it's open. Cool? And then with doubles, it's short and fat. So it's here. So if it comes out here, that's not a point. Does that make sense?
Just when you find it.
Yeah, I'll explain as you go, because again, with badminton you kind of have to learn as you go. But just remember that, keep that in mind. Also, just remember the serving. So if it goes in the opposite box, that is the other team's point. Cool? Right, get into your partner's team's thing.
Playing singles here.
You're playing against the other team. So Ryan and Serge are a team.
We need your phone back. Okay, what are we going to call over and under?
Keep in mind, so if we serve and I'm serving Charlotte and it goes in your box, remember that's your point. So that's a point to you. You serve.
That ain't gonna happen because it's not fair.
So if we lose a point, that's your serve. Just remember. We lose a point, you get a point, it's your serve. Right?
We're only gonna do 3 minutes, guys.
You guys know that, like, you get a point, that was your serve.
Yeah.
Alrighty. There's no trouble.
racket.
Who won on the floor?
Play off.
Play off. Maybe over there.
And chuck shuttlecocks in here, please.
Put your cock away. What? We're talking about the shuttle.
I like holding it. I feel for it.
Alright, can you once you put the finger from the racket, pass on the jump into a circle. And Gabs will go for a pull down. Get around, shoulder.
Pull up.
Get around, circle.
No, like this is literally how they came. Wonderful.
Sprint
Oh no,
around,
she
guys.
can. Then you take the floor.
Alright. Alright. Use your arms a little shaker. Little stretch out. Bring it up, bring it across.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, right?
hitting today.
Yeah. Alright, so what, if you can remember, what are the two serves? Don't look at the board. What are the two
Forehand,
serves?
backhand.
Flick.
What are the strokes? What are the strokes?
Be more slow.
What are the strokes, Charlotte?
Look.
No.
Backhand, forehand.
No, just try and take
Let's bring back, let's bring back. Serves.
Look.
Underhand.
Yep. Flick and
Right,
yes.
so.
What are the strokes that we taught today?
Forehand, backhand.
The one that was
Good. Can you remember 3 rules of badminton? I'll explain
Got
at
to
the
serve it
end.
into the opposite
Yes.
court.
Yep.
Can't get in the middle square thing. I have to go and
Yep. I briefly went across it at the end. You might have been listening. Yes. What's skinny? One's skinny and long.
skinny line.
Yes. What's short and fat?
Double.
Yes. Good. Nice. Is there something that you guys learned today that you didn't know before about badminton? The serves? Yeah? Yeah? Cool. Wonderful. Who plays tennis or badminton, just out of curiosity? Who has? Okay. Okay. And that's all we saw the skill. Have you ever switched your switched? Did anyone find anything particularly hard like to get used to?
Backhand.
Like,
The low serve sort of one? Okay. Yeah.
Is there anything else that sounds quite difficult?
the lights kind of blinding sometimes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
That's just something that,
it's just like,
yeah, it's just badminton, you know, and you can't really change the lights, I don't think. Yeah. Any other stretches you guys want to do? Oh, some of you are just doing your own. I don't even know what that is. Cool. Right. Wonderful.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
really appreciative.
Start with you, Ryan.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good session. Good session all round. Workload was real good and it was good fun. The competition was good as well. The thing that I would have changed in it, or modified, would have probably been the first serve game into the hoops. Maybe 5 minutes might have been just a wee bit too long for me. And then maybe, since I know that me and Serge, for example, we were just hitting it at one hoop the whole time, maybe change the rules for that and maybe say you've got to get it in all the hoops at least once before you can get it in the other hoops again. But yeah, no, it was a good session. Enjoyed it.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, so I thought it was quite fun. Did take a little bit to master a couple of things, but yeah, overall I did think I probably got a little bit better. Yeah, the lights were a little bit blinding at times, unfortunately, but there's nothing that they can do about it. One thing I think they could have changed was basically me and Nate were just doing single serves the whole time. So that was quite boring, actually. So it would have been good to like mix it up or change us from being singles to doubles with another pair or something like that.
Okay. Cool, thank you. Okay.
The session was very informative. I like how they went around and then asking for any questions and stuff, and then they were complimenting us as well. And then and then maybe something they could add would be maybe if they had like nits with them. That way we can actually like imagine like what the high like how high we should serve and stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. Kieran?
Yeah, I thought it was really fun. I think it was really competitive in most things we did with the hoops. Was like really competitive. It was really good. But maybe refer back between the changeovers, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
I liked the hoop game, trying to get in the hoop, gave us a game or like drill to actually use the skills that we learned in the first bit, so we progressed pretty well. So started just going to each other, could kind of serve anywhere our partners could move to it, and then go for a target, which made it better. What could have made it a little bit, I think it was just that we didn't have the net for heaps of the stuff, sort of made it a little bit like not applicable to the game sometimes. Like in our rallies and stuff, it was heaps of like going low, but also in the hoop game, like it was competitive in terms of trying to get as many points as you could, but then after it kind of like there was nothing like after it. Like they said get as many points as possible, which was good, and like it was like motivating, but then at the end it was just sort of forgotten. So it'd be kind of good to like write down the points or something, sort of to make it sort of finish the competition.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And it was good making it left-handed and then right-handed, making us move around and get body position better and actually focus on that skill. And then going both hands was good. So it was just that the net, not having a net was sometimes difficult.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. The session was like well planned out, just with the hoop game. So like learning the passes or serves and pairs, that was really good. And then Sinead and Gabby were walking around helping us individually. That was awesome. But then the hoop game, I personally just found it really struggling. Like I struggled quite a bit, quite hard, because I couldn't get it in the hoop, and I didn't know like how to like aim for like the hoop. But yeah, it was cool how they added the fitness component into it. I agree with Serge about having like, I don't know, the top teams like play off, or like the lower teams in like the placings, or yeah, I don't know. But then the game at the end was really fun too. So like I feel like it did progress really well into the game at the end. So yeah.
Thank you. Bex?
I really enjoyed that, and I felt I learned like with the sets and stuff. It was really good. The progressions of the session as well was well done, and their technique for like showing the different serves was really good. Maybe to improve on was like explaining the rules first, so we kind of knew where we're trying to get to with regards to like the serving to the opposite side, rather than just like the start that we serve straight back and forward. So yeah, otherwise real good. Enjoyed it.
Thank you. Charlotte?
No, it was a good session. I think the whole thing was planned really good. With the hoop one, I think they could have added more hoops, and then as you got one in, like removed the hoop. So you had like a wider, broader selection of where you could add for it. And also maybe just having the net as well. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. Nathan?
I thought it was a good session. The game's really good. The serving was really good. I felt like I learned how to serve properly. With the hoop game, like 5 minutes was a little bit too long. And yeah, I thought they could mix it up a bit instead of doing singles and time. Yeah, but other than that, it was a really good session.
Thank you. Gabby?
With the session, I definitely think it could have been better. I naturally know how to do everything in badminton, just from learning it bit by bit over a very long period of time. So it was hard for me to explain, put it in words. So that's why I really wanted to show it instead of telling it. So that I found that kind of difficult. With the hoop game, I thought of that on the spot. There's nothing online about like drills, so I like kind of made it up. 5 minutes was too long, I did realise that. It was a little bit difficult because I joined in playing one of the games. I didn't get any points, and I found that in my head it was just a bit different. So putting it out, it just wasn't what I thought. So I definitely like the ideas that people just said then. Something to think about. With the partners, with the singles and the doubles, that was a bit difficult because just the people didn't add up. But I understood what Kat said about, switching it up. Partners can switch around, get into another partner, so no one's missing out. Other than that, I thought it was okay. That's how I can describe it. It's okay. Definitely room for improvement though.
Okay, thank you.
I pretty
Sinead?
much agree with Gabs, but maybe the explaining we could have all done at the beginning instead of
More of the explaining?
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but pretty much what Gabs said.
Yeah.
Did good, but definitely need a lot of improvement.
Yeah. So it's probably, I would agree with these guys who talked about maybe a bit more information up front in terms of the game and how it's played. Don't be afraid to maybe use a video. Find something on YouTube that sort of shows, how the game's played and what's going on, maybe pointing some things out. So you can use those sorts of things as well. A little bit more about the rules, maybe about the lines and what we're trying to achieve with the serve. Probably no reason why we couldn't put the nets up and had the nets there as well. With the hoop game, I think it's a good concept, but maybe execution. So probably wouldn't have been any reason why you couldn't have like hoops on each side and then everyone involved. So they'll be hitting backwards and forwards trying to get it into the hoop rather than half the people.
Hoops were bigger in my head as well. I saw them really small and I was like, oh.
Yeah, or maybe you could mark out areas with cones as well that they need to hit it into. So just thinking about those sorts of things. Difficult with just concentrating on a backhand or just concentrating on a forehand. I thought maybe take that out of the game situation a wee bit and maybe just have pairs hitting backwards and forwards, and then at the end have your game where you bring those two together, so your forehand and backhand together, so it starts to look more like the game situation. Yeah, but overall I think all the elements were there, but maybe just the setup and the execution of some of those things. Yep, and just be aware of being stuck playing the game. It doesn't allow you to actually circulate, and I think Caitlin was pretty comfortable just being there by herself and knocking it back. I don't think she had too many issues with that, so maybe that could have freed you up a little bit to maybe move around, because I guess you're probably the experienced one in terms of moving around and giving feedback. Yeah.